Welcome to Speaking Holistically, the podcast that explores the power of alternative medicine, natural healing, and homeopathic solutions to help you achieve true wellness. Each week, Dr. Jen and Amy G dive into the world of holistic health, discussing researched, time-tested remedies with expert insights from Dr. Jen, as well as real-life stories from patients to empower you to take charge of your health. So if you're ready to embrace a more natural path to wellness, let's start speaking holistically, because true healing begins from within. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Speaking Holistically. I'm your co-host, Amy G. I'm here with my amazing co-host, Dr. Jen. And today we're doing a simple swap episode on some beauty products.
Which is shocking because I don't use many beauty products. Amy and I were talking about this just prior to going on and recording this. And she's like, what do you have for beauty products? I was like, none. I don't know what to tell you. So
we're yin and yang with that one. We're the opposite.
Yeah, for sure. So I was like, my hair is gray. I'm okay with that. I don't have a problem with that. I've had patients go, you could do a little bit of dye on there. I'm like, I'm fine. Like, I'm good. So the thing that I've used for probably close to 35 years is this. It is a bentonite clay, and you can mix this with a little bit of apple cider vinegar or water, or a combination of the two if you don't like it quite as spicy. But you can mix it, and it's really, really great for doing like facials for acne, cleaning out the pores. It's like a drawing clay. The clay will draw impurities out of the skin. But I love this because it's totally sun-dried. It has no fragrance. There's no animal testing, no animal products, and absolutely no additives. So I love this. It doesn't dry out my face. Even though it's pulling stuff out, it's not going to destroy the pH of it. And there are people who have, issues with their skin that maybe isn't quite as healthy. Some people have tried this and told me that they've gotten, really great results with dry skin patches and even sometimes into like the eczema or psoriasis. So you can just create a little bit of a mask for your skin, and it works really, really well. You can soak your feet in it. Because like I said, it's a drawing clay basically. So you just need a little bit of it, and a little bit goes a long way. But this is great. It's called Aztec Secret Indian Healing Clay. And I used it as a teenager just to keep my pores cleaned out, because I have pretty decent sized pores. And some people do, and some people don't. So I've really never worn makeup because I know that it would clog my pores. So I think that's probably why. And I was a swimmer, so I was in the water twice a day, and so I'm not going to get in and put makeup on and get out and have it dripping down my face and stuff. So so this is one of my favorites, and it's a great thing to keep around the house. You can also use bentonite clay for a host of other things. It absorbs toxins, oils, bacteria in the skin, and like I said, it can help with acne reduction, which I didn't really have a lot of acne as a teenager unless I ate fast food, which is something that we did not do at our home. But, open campus, you have your own license and car. Sometimes you did things your parents didn't want you to do until you started feeling junky and horrible, and then realizing no wonder they didn't have me eat this stuff, right? Actually, this can also help, especially, being out here in Tennessee, poison ivy is a big issue, especially this time of year. So it can help soothe that area by making a paste and putting it on there, and help with reduce any kind of the allergic reactions. Like I said, it's very drawing. So it draws, not drying, but drawing. Some people have used it for blackheads, diaper rashes, stuff like that. But the other thing is you can actually use it on your hair. So if you get a lot of the buildup from shampoos, you can use the bentonite clay on your hair and deep cleanse the scalp, and it can actually add some texture to it, to your hair, but it'll also lighten some of the heaviness up from the product buildup. We don't think about the product buildup.
Yeah.
So, but it definitely can happen. So there's a lot of ways and things that you can do, but you can also use this for gut health. So for digestive support, gut health, and more detoxification. So you can mix it in some water and actually drink it.
Whoa.
So not a lot, but you can do that, and it will help kind of bind to different things. A lot of people use this for heavy metals and different chemicals and stuff, but it also can have healing properties with, like I said, skin lesions and ulcers and eczema and psoriasis and I would use not apple cider vinegar when you mix it. If you were going to use it the first time, I would use water, so it's a little bit more gentle, so that you can see how your body reacts to it. And then you'll know whether it's the bentonite clay that you're having a reaction to, or the apple cider vinegar that you just put on an open lesion. So
that's a good point.
Yeah. Always start with the water, and then you can add that and even do half apple cider vinegar, half water to go the next time and see what it does. And then you can go full apple cider vinegar if you want to. But this product is fabulous. Like I said, I've used this for 35 years and I absolutely love it.
So how does it come in the jar? Is it dry? Is it a
powder?
It's a powder.
So you just take it and then mix it in something else, and you can put it as a mask.
Wow. And then how long do you, like when you do it on your face, when you do a mask, how long do you leave it on?
I probably leave it for 15, 20 minutes. Now it's going to dry up. But once it starts, I mean, obviously if it starts to fall off my face, then I'm like, okay, it's time to get the rest of this off. I've always loved it. And as a teenager, I loved the way my skin felt after I used it as well. So the other thing that I have that I absolutely love is this Zuma organic shampoo. So this brand Zuma has some really great products, but I love the shampoo. So it is very organic. When you pump this out, it is brown. So most people are not used to brown shampoos. They're used to like the pretty colors, the iridescent, the clear, right? Oh, look, it must be pure if it's clear, right? So you know how many chemicals go into making some of this stuff clear and,
and pretty.
And pretty. Yeah, exactly. This is ugly, but it works like nobody's business. So it's not super drying. It actually, I use it quite a bit, and I find that if I've used other shampoos or if I'm on vacation and I didn't bring this with me and I'll use whatever they have at the hotel, I know, blasphemy. I try not to use those things, or I'll go get Castile soap, but just depending on where we are, I'll end up using that. I'll find that after I've used other shampoos, I'll use this and it literally strips all the junk out of it. My hair is light and has way more body because it's not so heavy.
Yeah.
So the first ingredient in this, because this is so exciting, me reading ingredients, I'm not going to go through all of them because there's probiotics in here, there's ginger, there's a whole host of stuff.
Oh, wow.
But the first ingredient in it is called soap nut. And if you haven't heard of soap nut before, it's basically a natural cleanser. So it can help balance out the scalp by reducing dandruff and irritated scalps and stuff like that. So any kind of inflammation. Dandruff is just inflammation, right? It can add shine to your hair, and it actually has been helping a lot of people with their hair from falling out. So
really?
As we age and our hormone changes happen, so this can be helpful. I find that my hair falls out less using this than it does with any other shampoo. So I will attest to that for sure. You could even use this on your face. I mean, there's nothing in it that says, oh, it's just for hair. Soap nut is really good for skincare, gentle cleansing, anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, and actually acts as a moisturizer too. So this is a really environmentally friendly and scalp friendly and natural cleanser that you can get. But I love this. One of the other ingredients in it is Indian laurel leaf. And what I find interesting about this is that it has a lot of antioxidant properties. But the one thing I think was really interesting, it's an astringent, so it'll help clear up skin stuff too. So if you have dandruff or any kind of psoriasis and stuff like that, it actually can help with that. But it also, because it's an astringent, it will also clear up and clear out some of the buildup in the hair like we had talked about earlier. But especially being in Tennessee in the summer, we have mosquitoes the size of birds. So they're big. You can hear them coming before you see them. And they're big. So this actually can act as a natural insect repellent. I'm not saying slather this all over your skin. But if you have it on your hair and you've rinsed it out, there's still going to be that scent there. So I'm interested to see how much. I didn't realize that that's what that also did. It was one of the benefits of it. So I usually use essential oils on my skin so that I don't get eaten alive by our mosquito birds out here. And they're big. But I think it's interesting because I do use this, and I find that with this and the essential oils that I use on my skin, I literally will hear the mosquitoes in my ear at night and they never touch me. And I used to get eaten alive. So now I'm like, well, is it all just the essential oils that I use on my skin, or is part of it this? So I don't know. I love the shampoo. You don't have to use a ton of it. It's on the thinner side. It's not big, gloopy and gloppy. And, it does an incredible job. And I don't use conditioner. So they do have a conditioner, but I don't use conditioner. And I still don't have knots and snarls and stuff like that. So this actually does a pretty decent job. But like
I was going to ask about that because I have a ton of wave in my hair. And so I find that it is hard to comb through. It gets really tangly with certain shampoos. So.
Well, and it can, but when I rinse it and I go through it with my fingers and kind of get it all straightened out. And if I have to, you start at the end and move your way up to brush it out. But I haven't used conditioner in 13 years and my hair is almost to my waist. And it is wavy. I have it pulled back because
yeah, you have a lot of wave in your hair, yeah.
It's fun stuff, especially with 95% humidity. So, yeah. So this, like I said, this product is awesome. I'm not going to talk it to death, but you can try it. It's not cheap. It's not overly expensive. I don't buy $100 shampoos. It's not my jam. I use Castile soap. Sometimes it's a little bit more drying than this is, I think, but it's not bad. But I do love how my hair feels after this. So it might be an option for you if you're trying to get away from it. And like I said, they have the shampoo and they have the conditioner, so you could potentially buy both.
I struggle with shampoos because I find that some of them, I wash my hair and it gets really tangly, and other ones I feel like they're too heavy for my hair. So I'm excited to try this one because I think this might actually work for me. And I'm always on a quest to find an organic shampoo that I like, that works for me.
Well, and the thing about it too is with shampoos, it's one of those things when your hair has gotten used to one of them and you're using it every single day, then you go to use another one and you're like, oh, I don't like the way this feels, or I don't like that, Yeah. But that's always the way it is when you change. I always think of it like dogs. If you've ever had a dog, you can't just change their food from this to this. You have to kind of integrate it. You have to kind of 75% this and now 25% this, and you kind of have to make that switch over time.
Right.
So even if people use this every other day or start off with once a week, just an astringent to clean out the excess buildup, so they know what their hair could feel like, that sort of a thing, and then go to 2 times a week and then 3 times a week and go from there, or whatever. I know there's a lot of people that don't wash their hair every day, or they'll wash it once a week. I wash my hair every day just because my job is so intense, actively, and I glisten. So I sweat like a pig. So I have to shower. I just do. It's just how I am. I shower twice a day usually, and I wash my hair once a day. And I know people are like, you don't have to do that. I'm like, no, I do. I feel like I just rolled out of a dumpster if I don't. So it's my thing. And they'll try to talk me into, no, you'll be fine after a couple of days. I'm like, I'm not fine. So as long as I have this amenity, I will be using it. But like I said, I don't use the soaps and stuff that everybody else does with all the fragrance and all the other junk in it, so that I'm not jacking up the bacterial count and the pH of my skin. I don't want to do that. So there's things that we do to make sure that our bodies are staying as healthy as possible. So like I said, ease this into your routine if you want to, and try the conditioner. The conditioner will last forever. So it's, I've had friends use this and they're like, holy cow, I needed just a teeny tiny bit. And they went through 3 or 4 bottles of this before they even finished 1 bottle of the conditioner.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it goes a really long way.
Can people use this as their everyday shampoo?
Oh, of course. No, I do. Yeah, I absolutely do. So, but at the beginning, because it doesn't have all of the chemicals in it that make it all silky smooth in the shower, this will feel like it's a little bit drier. And some people get a little bit nervous about that because they're not used to how it feels without all that buildup. They just think that that's normal. So that's why I said, give it a chance. So you could do it once a week and then move it into twice a week or whatever. And like I said, some people don't wash their hair but once a week. So, I mean, this would be perfect for them.
Yeah, and I'm thinking I want to get the conditioner too, only because it's very dry in Colorado. And so if it's going to have my hair feel drier than normal, plus it's dry here, so it's kind of compounded, I feel like I might need the conditioner. But it sounds like I could have that bottle for 5 years. So that's good.
And you don't have to use as much. And the conditioner ingredients are equally as good, right? So, but a lot of people take the conditioner and slather it all over their scalp and stuff like that as well. And really you just needed to get rid of the tangles. So you really just need it on the ends.
On the ends, yeah.
Yeah, so and overdoing it just weighs that hair down so much. So yeah, no, it's a fabulous product for sure.
Very cool. Well, thank you, Dr. Jen. I want to do more of these. I'm hoping you have more Simple Swap beauty products, but
Yeah, we'll be right on that. Actually, we do have a face oil that we will be doing an interview with the owner of the company.
oh,
And so I know I like to surprise you with some of this stuff.
I
So
know. I was like, I'm
it
just
keeps it
hearing about this.
interesting. I don't want our relationship to get boring.
Oh, okay, very cool. Wow. All right. So we'll have a part two Simple Swap beauty products when we interview her. So all right. Well, thank you, Dr. Jen. This was a really interesting episode. I'm definitely gonna order that shampoo. I'm excited. All kinds of shampoos are too heavy for my hair and drive me nuts. So thanks everybody for listening. If you haven't joined our school community, I'll put the link in the show notes below. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time, everybody. Bye-bye. That wraps up another episode of Speaking Holistically. Thank you for listening. We hope today's conversation gave you new insights and inspiration to take charge of your health. If you enjoyed this episode and want to hear more, be sure and join the Speaking Holistically school community by clicking the link in the show notes. There, you'll get access to daily podcast episodes, weekly live Q&As, educational content, and so much more. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time, be well, stay curious, and keep speaking holistically.